The South China Sea is the site of a long-standing dispute between several countries in the region over the ownership and control of several islands, reefs, and atolls. These disputes are primarily between China, Taiwan, the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei. China claims sovereignty over a large portion of the South China Sea, including several islands and reefs that are also claimed by other countries. This claim is known as the Nine-Line and has been rejected by other countries in the region and by the international community. The Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei also have claims to the disputed islands and territories. These disputes have led to ongoing tensions between the countries, with several incidents of naval vessels and aircraft from different countries engaging in confrontations in the area. In recent years, there have been efforts to resolve the disputes through diplomatic means, such as negotiations and international arbitration. However, the disputes remain unresolved. Also, China has been building military bases and artificial islands on the disputed areas in the South China Sea, which has been criticized by the other countries and the international community. The Malacca Strait, which connects the Indian Ocean to the South China Sea, is a strategically important waterway for international trade and energy transit. It is also considered a potential choke point for containing China's naval expansion in the South China Sea. Several countries, including the United States, have been increasing their naval presence in the region to ensure the freedom of navigation and to counter China's territorial claims in the South China Sea. The US has also been conducting naval patrols and exercises in the region, including in the Malacca Strait, as part of its freedom of navigation operations. Other countries, such as India and Japan, have also increased the naval presence in the region as a means of countering China's growing naval power. However, it is important to note that the Malacca Strait is a vital trade route for many countries, and any attempts to block or restrict shipping in the area could have severe economic consequences. Additionally, China is a major trading partner for many countries in the region and the world, so any containment policy could also be met with significant resistance. Thus, it is important to have a multilateral approach and diplomatic efforts to resolve the disputes in the South China Sea and to ensure the security and stability of the region. The Quad, also known as the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, is a strategic partnership between the United States, Japan, Australia, and India. One of the main objectives of the Quad is to promote a free and open Indo-Pacific region, which includes the South China Sea. The Quad countries have several options to contain China's territorial claims and military expansion in the South China Sea. Joint military exercises. The Quad countries have held joint naval exercises in the South China Sea, including in the Malacca Strait, as a means of promoting freedom of navigation and countering China's territorial claims. Diplomatic efforts. The Quad countries can use diplomatic channels to address the disputes in the South China Sea and to promote a peaceful resolution of the disputes. Economic pressure. The Quad countries could use their economic influence to put pressure on China to withdraw its territorial claims and military presence in the South China Sea. Infrastructure development. The Quad countries could invest in infrastructure development in the region to promote connectivity and stability, as a counterbalance to China's Belt and Road Initiative. However, it's important to note that any action from the Quad countries should be taken in a peaceful and diplomatic manner and in compliance with the international laws. Also, any action should be based on a multilateral approach involving all the countries in the region. Without the South China Sea, China's options for accessing the open ocean and the resources it holds, such as fisheries and hydrocarbons, would be limited. It would also reduce its strategic and military options in the region. However, even without the South China Sea, China still has several options to maintain its economic and strategic interests in the region. Economic ties. China has strong economic ties with many countries in the region, such as through its Belt and Road Initiative, which would allow it to continue to access resources and markets. Military bases. China has established military bases in other countries, such as Pakistan and Djibouti, which would allow it to project military power in the region. Cyber and space capabilities. China has advanced cyber and space capabilities that could be used for surveillance and intelligence gathering in the region. Diplomatic efforts. China could use diplomatic channels to promote its interests in the region and to counter the influence of other countries. Resources. The South China Sea is believed to contain significant amounts of oil and natural gas, as well as valuable fisheries. Control over these resources would provide China with a valuable economic asset. Strategic location. The South China Sea is a major shipping route and a strategic location for naval power projection. Control over the South China Sea would allow China to exert greater control over the region and to protect its sea lines of communication. Military bases. China has built artificial islands on the disputed areas in the South China Sea, which have been converted into military bases. This allows China to project its naval power in the region. In summary, while the South China Sea provides China with important resources and strategic advantages, it still has options to maintain its economic and strategic interests in the region even without it.